Welcome back to the Foundation. This is Swaytoven, and I made this last night, but I want to talk about how I make a certain type of intro. Not that it's a special type of intro. I think it's pretty easy, but it also helps with sound selection and arrangement. I believe, especially if you like layered a beat. Now it's just a type of technique that I do. I just introduce everything as it goes on, and it's just like with each new introduction. What am I doing? Something that's maybe slightly different, because the slight differences can add up. I don't really like make any crazy transitions or anything like that. But let's listen to the beat. It's nothing crazy or anything. It's just a beat. All right, let me seize my mic. Yep, you can see nothing crazy. I mean, it even looks super similar. Like I'm using the same pattern throughout three different sounds. That's important because this technique, especially when you layer stuff and then you want to start to add things gradually instead of have everything at the beginning, it lets you know what sounds are good. So it works with your sound selection, because there are times where like you could add like a sound in the middle of the beat or when you're trying to introduce something and it just really stands out. You might turn it down, and this is just from my experience, but it's just like this isn't the sound. It's not the right sound, you know? And that's what's good with layering, because you can at least try to find sounds that are good with each other, but some people layer stuff and it's just ridiculous. Maybe I'm just talking about me because I don't listen to other people layer their things. Sometimes I just add the wrong sounds. So, getting the right sounds is important, and they can be unique. That's the thing about it. Like the uniqueness is also, and you can make this beat too if you have Serum 2, and if you have Portal. I didn't do anything special about this. Nothing crazy. No special effects. But something that I do, and it's something that I've seen recently, but it's something that I've already knew, something that I've incorporated multiple times. It's just like I never tried to use it on the more simple stuff, because like you use these things, you can turn simple things more interesting. It's just by changing like the octaves. Honestly, like what I've already done to the original was that I changed the pitch. Like this is what it sounds like. It's not gonna sound good because the 808 is not in the same key. I'll turn the portal off first. It sounds similar, but it's not. Now that's definitely different. Alright, just some little different changes to switch it up or whatever. But it's not like I'm turning these things on or off. These things are staying the same way. But as you can see in this one, and I like this. Right, some sounds just sound good in higher registers. It's just I octavized it every single time right here. So it's just like, and then I realized that in higher octaves it feels like it's a little bit more energy. So it's just like when leading into, it doesn't matter what the sound is, but this is what it sounds like, I guess. And now, honestly, I feel like that's supposed to be a little bit higher. I want this a little bit higher, because that just, like, that being like 2 octaves higher than the original just had some nice energy right there. So it's just like, this is something that I want to carry on through like the hook. So I can keep the same sound while it's layered in the verse if I turn it down 2 octaves basically. And I can get rid of a sound possibly, but with me, I like to add more sounds. I like to see how many sounds I can fit into this space that I have, right? And you might be thinking about space for an artist, but if the artist can't rap on this, then I can rap on it. You're saying I can do it. Skill issue. But that's how you introduce some energy with his octaves and stuff like that. I've done it with and that's kind of the only thing I did, to be honest, right? And I'm introducing things like I have the hi hat here, and I have the snare and the 808 coming in at like half of the bar, basically. And that has more so to do with counting, you know. I have this melody here coming at the half of the quarter, you know. It's just like we're just taking steps, adding things into the beat, like because right down here, I want to add like a different sound, but it's like maybe I don't have to add a different sound. Maybe if I want the verse to come in, I can just go to this right here, low pass it, and like do that, you know, just make it less. But I think adding a sound would be cool. But I have like the little hi hat roll here, the snare roll right here, so you understand what the energy is at the point, because that's just my decision. Like I'm using, I don't put like the hi hat roll at the end of it, or the snare roll at the end of every bar. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this thing's like a sort of like a timer to know when to get into something different. And that's like the thing about like introducing things and like having different things set up. Like when I have like this octavized sound that I talked about in the first part, that's also like on a timer, right? You're only gonna hear that and should hear it in the hook. And it's like you could put it in the verse; it's not gonna hurt, right? Because like I said, I didn't say, but the hook should have everything. But it's just like, you know, this has its place, right? It's on the timer, right? You know what I'm saying? You got a couple times to shine. Like the snare roll, basically, right? I found putting it at the end of every single end of your snare patterns is just like very repetitive, obviously, and it's just like you'll lose track of like when the cool thing should happen next if you want something cool to happen, you know. You don't like, I don't do anything crazy. I don't make crazy beats. Like there's a thing about making beats for other producers that are cool, and there are beats that are like rappable, you know what I'm saying? The beats you hear, and I don't listen to music honestly, like on the radio and mainstream music, but the latest song that I heard was like dun 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 dun. It's a female singer. Bum 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 bum. Thing is, a song on Bad Girls Club. But the most simple beat, bro. The most simple beat. Are you kidding me? Repeats the whole way through. No crazy transitions, I think. But it's just like, come on now. Who we trying to impress here? You know? Kick, energy. I just put that in on after the first bar. Simple open hats. If I were to have more percussions, right? Let's say I had like this was like a percussive type of beat. Maybe I would have something like, I would have some low percussions down here that were like soft or something because it's the intro, and then I would have like all like the loud ones or something like this, you know, coming through like the main play, and then maybe we went back to the verse, and then I would have like just the low ones or something like that. And then let me see, I would get rid of the open hats and the kicks or the cymbals and just have like something like that, I suppose. Maybe get rid of a sound here, like this sound that's introduced right here is like a lead, but I feel like introducing a new sound, it's a lead in the VST. Like maybe I want the sound to play whole way through, and I get rid of something up here. Like it doesn't really matter. It's just how you want to carve out this sculpture of sound, right? You just made a wall of sound. Now you gotta carve it out. Make space. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just how you see it. I mean, there's different ways to make arrangements. Like you see the arrangements that like the better producers be making. They have like they have like patterns, like the most sparingly used patterns like this. Like you ever notice that? Like it's just like their shit looks like this. Like they just have shit in random places, like little air candy here, little pizzazz there and stuff like that. I feel like that stuff is added like after the song or something, because it's like there's no way you can add certain type of things like before someone puts the voice or stuff over it, in my opinion. But I've never worked on anything like that, so but that's more like of a feeling thing or some shit. But I don't know. I'm just yapping. I'm just talking. Like and subscribe for less.